Hi everybody. This year I'm going to do things a little different on my channel. I have decided I would like to explore the foods of my heritage, what I grew up eating and the foods my ancestors would have grown up eating. So I'll be cooking stuff from Canada, which is where I'm from. I have a couple of my nan's recipes and my poppies, so I'll be cooking those. But I'm going to go further back to where my ancestors came from and explore those foods as well, which would be places like England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, France, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands. Today, I'm going to start with my nan's Swedish meatballs. We grew up eating those as children every Christmas. She only cooked them once a year, and it was Christmas Eve for her open house. These are different because they're made with a tomato sauce, not the usual cream sauce that you see, but we're just gonna follow her recipe, as chaotic as it is. I'll post it at the end so you can have a look at it. And I'll also rewrite it and post it in the comments. So first we have a pound of ground beef. To that we are adding 1 cup of breadcrumbs, a tablespoon of parmesan. Now my nan would have used the cheap stuff that you can get in the green tube in the aisle by the pasta. You want to add some pepper, some salt. For my parmesan, I grated up some real parmesan because I just prefer it. But use whatever you have. And we are going to add 2 eggs. Now my Nana wasn't a fancy cook. She liked things simple. And as children, my brothers George, BJ, and I, and my cousin Victor, we looked forward to having these every Christmas. Like I said, it was only once a year that she made them. And it was at Christmas Eve for her open house. It's a simple recipe. There's not a lot of spices and flavors in it, but we're gonna make it the way she would have made it and see what my hubby thinks of it when he gets home tonight. I am going to serve it with some mashed potatoes. So we're gonna mix this up in the bowl and then start forming some meatballs. I have everything mixed together. So now I'm just forming the meatballs. They're a little smaller than a golf ball. Like I said, growing up, every Christmas Eve my nan made this and everyone looked forward to it. She used to do an open house every Christmas Eve so family and friends could come over, eat some food, have some Christmas cheer. I've done it a couple times as an adult, but I do it mid-December because I have friends from all over the place and I call it holiday open house. This way, everyone feels included and we can all celebrate together. However, I have never made her Swedish meatballs. If my guys end up liking this, I'll probably play with the recipe a little bit more, just to add some modern techniques to it and some techniques I've learned as an adult that would make the meatballs nicer, I guess you could say, not as tough. But for now, we are going to copy my nan's recipe. Like I said earlier, my nan did not write down all the directions for her recipe. She has a list of some of the ingredients and it says 1/2 cup of cooking oil, brown meatballs in it. She doesn't tell you how to make her meatballs, but when you read the rest of the recipe, you can see where the other ingredients go, so you do know logically what goes into the meatballs. So what we're going to do is put the meatballs in the oil. We are going to brown them on all sides and then remove them from the skillet and start the sauce. I like to make sure they have a little breathing space in between them so that nobody's crowded and everybody can have fun in the little pool party of my skillet. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Our meatballs are golden, so we're going to remove them from the skillet and move on to the next step, which is, after they are browned, add 1 medium onion chopped fine. So we're gonna put our onion in there. And once it's browned, we will add the rest of our stuff. So I'm going to go add 1 medium onion chopped fine and the garlic. Okay, I'm not gonna add the garlic now like she says to because we do not want to burn the garlic. When the onions are browned, add everything else. So I'm gonna cook the onions down. When they're almost done, then I will add the garlic and I will be back when we add the rest of the stuff for the sauce. Our onions have browned nicely. Now She puts the garlic in when she puts the onions in, but that can make your garlic bitter and ruin your dish. So I added it when there was about 30 to 60 seconds left at the end. The next thing we're supposed to do is add half a can of tomato paste. I don't have a can, I use the tubes. So I'm just gonna put, what looks like a half a can of tomato paste in the center there. And I'm going to cook that off for a second before I add everything else. I've cooked down the tomato paste. Now it says to add 1 can of tomatoes. Be careful not to splash yourself because this pan is hot. So we're supposed to put a can of tomatoes in here. 1 can of tomatoes, 1 cup of water, mix it together, and then let it simmer for half an hour. So I'm gonna set this on the stove, I'm gonna put a lid on it, and I'm gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes, and then I will be back. Our sauce has been stewing for 30 minutes. So now it says to add our meatballs back in. So let's get them in there. Before you're weirded out that I'm touching everything with my bare hands, this is for my family. If I was cooking for other people, I would wear gloves. I have some in the drawer. But it's for family, so it's fine. Try not to splash them too much because you don't want to get that tomato sauce up on you. Then we're supposed to sprinkle it with the parsley and the basil. So let's cut up some basil here to add to the sauce. As I go through this journey, most of the recipes, what little bit I have from my relatives, will be from my nan, from my dad's side. I don't have recipes from my mom's side. I wasn't raised with that side of the family. My father's mother raised my 2 brothers and I. So what recipes I have will be hers. And like I said earlier, she was a simple cook, nothing fancy. And she called these Swedish meatballs. Personally, I think they look more Italian, but we're gonna go with what she called them. She says to add salt and pepper again, and then we're supposed to stew them for, simmer for 2 hours. It says if the sauce thickens too much during those 2 hours to just go ahead and add a little bit more water. Some other things I will be doing this year on my channel is my granddaughter Natalie will FaceTime me and ask to see pictures of the treats I've baked. And she is very upset with me that I don't have a lot of treats, that I have more cooking than baking. So I'm going to do some more baking this year for her so she has more pictures of treats to see. Okay, I'm going to cover this, put it back on the stove and let it simmer for the 2 hours. I'm probably gonna check it about every 20 minutes to make sure it's not getting too thick. And I will see you back when this dish is finished. Meatballs are done, so they've stewed for 2 hours. I'm going to serve them. That was really loud. I'm going to serve them with some mashed potatoes. And once I have these dished up, my son's gonna come in here and try them. To me, they really remind me more of an Italian meatball than they do a Swedish meatball. But my Nana called them Swedish meatballs, so that's what we're gonna go with. And it's her recipe. There are some things I would do differently, like I would definitely add some seasoning to the meatballs and not just the sauce. But it does look good. It smells amazing as well. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Let's get my son in here to try this. My son has never had these. He didn't grow up with them. Like I said, this was something my nan raised her children with and raised my 2 brothers and my cousin and I with. So try these, bub. These are Nanny's, what she called Swedish meatballs that she served every year at Christmas.
That's good.
With mashed taters.
That's really good. I like that.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will, at the end of this video, have a photo of her recipe, and in the description down below, I will definitely post it with more information on how you can make these. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying this channel. I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye-bye.